we're doing here is we're filming some very, very beautiful, fresh Coho salmon caught Kitimat, British Columbia today. Now, we're going to be grilling these very similar to the way you grill a steak. So when you're doing that, one thing you want to remember is you look at the fillets. There's a different thickness, because I like to use a lot of that belly meat. That belly's got a lot of beautiful fat in there. High fat's where it's at when it comes to flavor. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep the thin pieces cut separately, because they're going to cook at different speeds than the thicker pieces. So I'm going to cut them into pieces about 3 or 4 inches wide, like so. Get a nice easy grill job out of it. You want to keep the thin pieces, like I said, separated from the thick pieces, because they will cook at different speeds. We're going to go for about a medium to a medium well cook with these. Make sure I got them all cut up nicely here. That's a nice beautiful piece of nice belly meat. Look at all that fat in there. Oh, that's going to be scrum-diddly. Okay. Slice these guys up like so. One more cut here. Now these have been deboned. One more piece here. Now, there we go.
Those look so good, Steve. Chef Kowalyshyn. You're doing such a good job.
I do the best I can, Italo.
You're doing great. Okay, let me know when they're ready, okay?
Oh, you got it. You got it. I'll make sure I don't let you down. Okay, so now what we're going to do now is we're going to cover these fish in some olive oil. What this does helps get a nice char on it, and it keeps all your seasoning stuck to the fish. Also, this is going to prevent all of your fish getting stuck to that grill. That way, you don't have any of that nice charring, any of that barbecue flavor coming off, being left on the barbecue. It's all going to go right where it counts, right in the belly. Just a little bit on there. Rub it around nicely. Just a few drops. There we go. Make sure every piece is covered on both sides. Oh, hey, there's a lot there. Now, when you cook fish like this, I entertain guests a lot at my house. When you cook fish like this, a lot of people never had a salmon grilled this way. When you do this for your guests, they're going to be blown away with what you prepare for them. Turn these over again. Make sure I cover the other side as well. Nicely covered in oil. Olive oil is the #1 choice I use for this. Olive oil tends to get hot quickly. It's really good for searing. It's got a nice little flavor to it. We're not using so much that we're just oiling the fish. It's just to help it char up nice and not stick. Okay. Now for a seasoning, we're going to go for biggest, thickest seasoning first, to the thinnest and smallest seasonings after. What this is going to do, this is going to help it stick properly. I'm just using a simple Montreal steak. You want to get a decent amount on there. Don't go too crazy with it. Make sure it's evenly spread. There we go. Now, just a small amount. Actual Montreal chicken. Not too much, just a little. Now I got my Italian herb and garlic stuff to grind this right up on there. Don't be afraid to use a fair amount of this stuff. Get it nice and thick on there. I use on the thicker settings that these come with. And this stuff here is just magic. Now, just a little bit of salt. Normally use Himalayan. This will still work nicely. Now, salmon works very, very good with anything sweet. Now, a real Canadian maple syrup works great. Today, we're going to use simple brown sugar. There's a sprinkle load of brown sugar over top of this salmon. Anybody who does any grilling, especially the southern United States, southern barbecue, a lot of brown sugar, syrups, honey. Honey works great for this, by the way. Really works well with any kind of red fish. Rainbow trout, Chinook, brown trout, Arctic char, Coho salmon especially. Okay. Gonna turn these happy little fellas over now. I'm just gonna repeat on the other side. Now, this is the way I oil my grill. When I oil my grill, make sure that salmon's not going to stick. Plus, I want to make sure I got lots of fire, lots of smoke, lots of flavor, lots of charring going on. So when I barbecue that fish, you want to know it's been barbecued. You want to get that nice charred barbecue flavor to it. And this is important stuff here. Now, temperature. Here's how you do your temperature. I'm going to hold my hand 1.5 off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I gotta pull that hand away at a 5 count. That's how you do your temperature. It's perfect for grilling salmon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's too hot. Away I go. So once I've got that, I take my fillets, lay them down at a 45-degree angle, just like so.
Nice job on the fillet.
Now we're barbecuing here. You gotta mind that some pieces are thicker, some pieces are thinner. Aim your thicker pieces for your hot spot on your grill. Thinner pieces around the edges, what I try and go for. My thinner guys, I'm gonna keep them over here. These are the bellies. These are the good stuff. Dude, that's my favorite part, is the bellies. All right. Now we got that on there. She's cooking up. You're gonna see some grilling, some charring, some flavor starting to happen here. When I close that lid, I want to keep all that flavor locked inside that barbecue. Let it circulate around, let it smoke around itself. That's where the barbecue flavor is really going to come out in the salmon. Leave it about 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes per side, and you're ready. Medium, medium well, and that's the perfect way to cook a fresh coho salmon. Now we're going to take a look at our coho, see if it's ready to flip. Look at that, that's perfect. Ready to flip over. See those char marks? That's exactly what I'm looking for. Not too long. Keep in mind, this is a beautiful wild fish. Look at that. We don't want to overcook it. We don't want this getting dried out. See how I'm flipping these over nice and easy? That's where the oiling comes into play. This is absolutely paramount to doing a fish like this. See the way that flipped over like that? Nothing lost, no flavor lost, everything's intact. We're going to be eating these. I'd say we let them cook for another 1.5 to 2 minutes. Let them rest between 3 minutes under tin foil. So when you barbecue that meat, the molecules get really, really stressed out. You let them rest under their own temperature, under some tin foil, everything calms down, actually makes the food taste better. Okay, so now we're going to take a look at our salmon. I think it's probably just about done. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to touch it, feel the firmness of it. I don't want to be in too soft. It's a little bit firm, so I believe, yeah, that's perfect right there. We're just pulling these guys off right around now. What I want to look for is on some of my pieces, I want to make sure I start getting a little bit of fat bubbling through. I see a little bit of fat bubbling. See right there, that white? A little bit of fat bubbling through. That when that fat starts to bubble through, that lets you know when you're around the medium well mark. Be very careful with a wild fish like this. You do not overcook it. There we go. Take these thinner guys off first. Those are the ones we got to pay attention to. We don't want to dry anything out. There's a guy like me and many other fishermen like myself. This is a delicacy. Like I said, just a little bit of that fat coming through. This is absolutely paramount to what we're doing here today. When I'm taking these off, always take off the thinnest to the thickest. And look at that. That is perfect. These guys are ready. Now, before I let these guys rest, I personally like to use some lime. And take some fresh lime, squeeze over top of these fish. We're going to let this sit on there, we'll rest up a little bit. This is going to enhance that flavor of that fish just the right amount. When we bite into these, we're going to be in for a treat. Alright guys, fresh coho here right off the grill. Who wants to try a piece?
I'd love to try this.
Italo, I know you're up.
Same seasoning.
Same seasoning, this time I add a little bit of sweet stuff to
Let me
it.
break a piece off. I don't want to get too much fish on there for other people. Wow, that looks good. Blackened. Amazing.
It's not my first barbecue. Come on guys, get in. Let's try a piece of this
Wow.
here.
Sure.
It's my specialty.
We had some last night that was delicious.
This one's gonna be a little bit better. Come on, my friend. Get in there. Don't be shy. This is what this is for.
Thank you.
Wow. Very good.
Holy moly.
This fish was swimming around in the Pacific Ocean about 3 hours ago. Come on, guys.
I have to try a piece.
Yeah, you gotta try a piece.
about the ocean?
Buddy.
Oh, wow.